Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Leo April 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Well, I've got a great deck for you this month, full of great esoteric imagery. Do you know, I forgot I'd have it. One of my children gave it to me. It must have been my daughter because it came from a flea market, and she's the queen of bargain hunting and going through charity shops and what have you and picking up just unbelievable bargains, it seems. And as it turns out, this is a bargain, and I'll tell you why, because I had no idea what it was called until just a moment ago. And the reading that I did just before yours, this popped out. And it's got the same back, and it is a card. It's a note on the inside which says Tabula Mundi Tarot, M.M. Meline, and it's signed by M.M. Meline, whoever M.M. Meline is, and the edition is called Coloris Arcus II. So that, I assume, solves the mystery as to what it's called. Now, you know, of course, that I provide clairvoyant readings to people all over the world over FaceTime and Skype, and you know, if you're interested in having a look to see what's involved, check out the description. I charge for those, I have to. They go for about an hour and a half, sometimes a bit longer. There's another thing which I do provide also happily over FaceTime and Skype, wherever you may be, and that is the gift of healing. Now, the healing comes through me and not from me. Now, you can put two and two together as to where it comes from. But all I'll say is this, is that, look, there's nothing special about me. It just happens that I was fixed with this ability, which obviously doesn't come from me, probably at birth, but all I do know is that for over 4 decades I've been providing healing to people with remarkable results. And if this is calling out to you, and it could be anything, it could be that your emotional problem, some physical issues, some just at your wit's end with something, issues about work, or you just don't know where to head, then don't be shy, don't be reluctant to use it, because hundreds of people have made use of it through this channel here, and I do it willingly. It's for free. There's no catch. Nothing's expected. You're not going to be asked for anything or talked into anything. It's literally free lunch. Now, if this does call to you, my email address is in the description as well, and just get in contact with me. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this, so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted by video ads. Let's see what's going on then, shall we? And show me the magic. We have the 7 of Swords. I put some stupid titles on this thing, the developer, I've got to say. There's the Fool, which is great for you. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous energy. What a fascinating... I mean, I can see what's going on with it. There's Fortune there. See, the 7 of Swords. I put stupid names on things because the meanings of cards are not fixed. That's the thing. I don't know why developers don't understand that. I mean, they're artists that get carried away with things, but they're not mystics. So, what else is there here? Another couple for you, shall we? And there is the Princess of Cups. Beautiful painting. And there is the Ace of Cups. Doesn't get any better than that from you from the point of view of love and emotion. Look, why don't you come and sit down here next to me? I'll bring the camera around so everybody else can see, and you and I can have a good close look at the just great imagery on these cards together. I might point out a few things with my pen, but not much, and we'll run out of time. The cosmic energies are going to swirl and speak to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. New starts, great success and love, but you need to grab hold of the ring on the merry-go-round in order to get the prize. First of all, I'm going to start with this card, because this is about mental doubts, but this is showing what is happening when you do grasp that ring. I'm going to show you the back of the card first. Some people like to see them. There's the word abrahadabra here. Now, abrahadabra was put forward by a guy called Aleister Crowley as being the magic word. Look, Aleister Crowley, the poor wretch, was an inveterate heroin junkie and cocaine and opium addict, and frankly I've read all of his stuff and I just find it childish and immature and a lot of obscurity, but you come to the conclusion sometimes that obscurity means that you actually don't have anything to say. Yeah, doubts, but this is what's in store for you here, which is what I see as a fresh start, and let's have a look at some of the imagery that's on this, shall we? Here's the interesting thing. A new start, as I say. Look, the beloved specializes in new starts, and this now for you is a new start, a blank slate, a new beginning. And you are not defined by your past anymore. Here is the tiger of fear, which this fool, which is you in spirit form, the real you, about to descend down through this wormhole or whirlpool from spirit into matter. And this person here has no regard at all to fear anymore, so you will conquer fear. You will be walking without fear during this period. This freshness is denoted by the color green, which I see with 0 degrees Aries, the beginning of the zodiac year. This crocodile, look, in the ancient days, the Egyptians along the Nile had, along with hippopotami and crocodiles and lions to worry about. In the Nile, they saw that crocodiles laid eggs, but they had no idea which gender a crocodile was. They couldn't determine what a gender was with the crocodiles. So they just assumed that every crocodile had the ability to spontaneously give rise to life, which is what is happening with you at this time. Here is the element of here, and here is the Hebrew letter Aleph, which is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it signifies the number 1. Aleph, I think, also indicates the oneness and the unity of the beloved. It hints that beyond the illusion of separation and duality, there is actually an underlying oneness, that nothing is separate, and that the Creator is the source of everything. Now, from a predictive point of view, I think this is just unmistakably saying that you now are ready to take a risk and that you'll have the courage to stand your ground. There's an openness that you'll have, a trust in yourself, freedom, independence, an enormous amount of creativity. You have within you, you know, the great potential that you can bring to bear, and it is your responsibility, in a way, I suppose, to bring that greatness, those talents to bear. There really is a time of you now listening to your heart's voice and possibly taking a massive forward leap. You'll be being in the present. This is all about new beginnings. And I think what's also going here is that there is the possibility of rebirth on all 4 planes of your existence: the spiritual, the intellectual, the emotional, and the physical. But you first have to have the readiness to change in all of your areas. You need, if I may say so respectfully, to take responsibility for your self-development. There is something of a new, something spontaneous happening, like the birth of eggs from a crocodile here, spontaneous life, and maybe the beginning of a journey into what is the unknown, but it is full of potential for you. So you need to take that leap, not of faith, but with the inner confidence that you are going to be okay. Open up your life and have faith that you can create what you want. Maybe you want to break free of the usual routines of life. Look upon life as this person here does and be empty again, without any baggage. I do see your creative activities becoming tangible. You are moving towards a sense of wholeness, and you are re-owning that courage that you had when you were a child. And you'll have the courage, I think, to be who you are without fear or favor. I think really that this is not the beginning of a new chapter in your life. It is the beginning of a new book. That first book is already closed, ended, and tossed into the seas. This new book is newly opened and has just begun. Look, it's the first page, and it's a beautiful one. There is a bridge of silver wings now that stretch from the dead ashes of what might from time to time seem to you in the past to have been an unforgiving nightmare. But this is leading now to the jeweled vision of a life started anew. Realize also that if a door has closed, it's because what was behind it wasn't meant for you. What am I also getting around to this? Getting the feeling of someone on their deathbed there, not that you are going to die, but just the concept of it here. In this context, look, when someone you love dies, you are given the gift of second chances. And their eulogy is a reminder that the living, that you can turn your life around at any point. You are not bound by the past. That's who you used to be. You're reminded that your feelings are not who you are, but how you felt at that moment. Your bad choices that defined you yesterday, but they are not who you are today. Your future doesn't have to travel the same path with the same people. You can start over. You don't have to apologize to people that won't listen. You don't have to justify your feelings or actions during difficult times in your life. You don't have to put up with people that are insecure and who want you to fail. All you have to do is, like him, walk forward with a positive outlook and trust that the beloved does have a plan that is greater than the sorrow that perhaps you left behind yesterday. You know, the people of quality that were meant to be in your life won't need you to explain the beauty of your heart. They already understand what a human is. A roller coaster of emotions during rainstorms and sunshine, sprinkled with moments when you can almost reach the stars themselves. But this is a turning point in your life, and a turning point in your life for the better, where you now are going to receive. Let's have a look at this. I'm not going to go into all the imagery here because I'm going to run out of time. Now here's the planet of Jupiter here. Jupiter the great benefic, bringing good luck, good fortune, expansion, romance, love, and the experience of the good things in life. That is what? That would be the Hebrew letter Kaf, which is the 11th letter of that Hebrew alphabet. Look, I think this means literally the cupped hand, and if you look at it, it's in the shape of a cupped hand, like an outstretched palm, isn't it? Ready to receive. It's also the shape of all containers, like a bowl, a cup, or a jar. They're all based on that basic curved shape. And this represents the idea of a container, where you are a container. From a predictive point of view, let me get... Oh, look, this is also unmistakably speaking of Like this, new beginnings and expansion, great creativity within you, a big breakthrough, self-realization, and unexpected fortune. There's luck around you now. Winning opportunities coming around. May well be a life-changing meeting with someone here. Now, this good fortune that is coming your way may not necessarily seem like that at the time it shows up, but it is what it is, and it is favorable. So be ready to act on any unexpected opportunities. When times are good, stay centered in the middle of the wheel here, then you don't get crushed whichever way it goes around. Change is about to happen for you, whether you like it or not. But you are going to like it because you're getting over this and you are seizing that ring on the merry-go-round. You may need to alter your present course or change things around to set the stage for the right outcomes to come into your life. Now, of course, if you struggle against the course of life, you become like these things, struggling against the wheel, and you might get crushed beneath it. But if you are in the center, despite the ebbs and flows, you are not going to be shaken or broken. So stay centered. I would say this, that if no miracles now are happening, then something is wrong, because you stand before the possibility of a great breakthrough. So use this moment. And are you really ready for the great good fortune? What's standing in the way? We'll deal with that next, I think. Say this to yourself. I am a prosperous individual. I am flexible in times of change. I enjoy manifesting my internal abundance externally. The abundance from the beloved which created me is what I am, and I am now ready for the miracle of my life. Now, I did say, didn't I, that we were going to go up here next and have a look at it. Again, I won't go through well, there is the moon, and I can see there that the moon is in Aquarius. Well, the emotions of the moon can cloud the intellectual qualities of Aquarius, and so Aquarius, in a sense, is weakened, and it can give you a lack of clarity. Now, I think I just mentioned, didn't I, that sometimes artists put stupid things on cards, that the mystics would not, and I would not, call this futility, because the cards and the energies depend on where they are and in relation to each other. I would look at this as being self-doubt and a failure to make use of your God-given gifts. Now, this might be something that you are going through, or it's a teaching for you, because this is an energy which relates to discouragement, fears, negative expectations. You may, for example, think sometimes that everything seems to be clouded by a film or veil. I just don't know what I really want. Or it's just too good to be true. Or I haven't the energy. There's no time. I'm already too old. Or that's too much good at once. I could never cope with so much success. There may be the thought that you just can't get things across properly, or that something might be simply too much trouble or take too long. Now, these literally destructive thoughts, they don't need to be taken seriously, because the reality of your situation now is so much different to what maybe you thought it was. And soon you're going to be able to laugh off your own doubts. Now, of course, this is the 7, which I have an association mystically with victory. So the overcoming of it. And swords, of course, is the mind. Look, and thoughts in particular, self-doubts. What is a thought? A thought is a picture that you paint in your mind, and then you put the words around the picture. and then you let it come into you, drop into you like a bomb from an overflying aircraft. The most important words that you will ever say to yourself, or that you will ever hear, are the words that you say to yourself. So be your own cheerleader. Do not talk yourself down. Now, what stops you from having this new beginning, this great new start? Well, it might be that you were having hard times about which is the best option for you. You might have analysis paralysis, is what I call it, where your energy gets scattered on endless, unproductive thoughts. Maybe you're wasting time on new things rather than determining what really do I need to move my life forward. What is my plan? What do I want? Write down in one sentence what you want. 99.9% of the population around the world has no idea what they want. Now, this concept relating to death is poking up at me again for some reason, and I suppose it's because, I think you'd agree with me that the ideal situation for a man or woman to die in is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. Now imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never went after that dream. You never lent in for that kiss. You never said those words. You never used those gifts. And imagine that there they are, standing around your being, looking at you with large, angry eyes and saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with your body forever." And imagine, if you will, what love, what words, what gifts will die with you. Their own miscarriage will be your bodily death. Do you know, the greatest wealth is not to be found in the oil fields of the Middle East or in the gold mines of Australia. The greatest wealth lies in the cemeteries. The greatness we have never seen, the joy never passed on, the words of sweet love never spoken, the talents, large or small, never actualized. But here we are still in swords. Now, we all, over the course of our life, pick up some scars, but remember, you are more than your scars. And if it can be thought, it can be done. A problem will be overcome. The music of hope is everywhere here around you now, but you need to hear it. You need to ignore the muddy static of life's hassles. And again, those who have gone through and are considering heartbreak or betrayal, remember, you can say, "Betrayal broke me, but it also woke me. What shattered my heart became the foundation for my strength, my healing, and my self-love," which I'm sure we'll touch on there, it seems. Now, if there's one thing, before I get off this, that you should respectfully keep in mind, and it is this, that brick walls, they are not there to keep you out. The brick walls are there to give you a chance to show how badly you want something. Because the brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. They're there to stop the other people, not you. Then, in the words of those old enough to remember Tom Jones and his Some Love Bomb, the love bomb is coming bang onto you. Let's have a look at this Brent, look, unfortunately we don't have enough time to go through each of the drawings, but you'll probably get the point with this, I think. Let's have a look here. The Princess of Cups. Do you know, I think that Scorpio, Sagittarius and Libra may be important to you now. You'll be very gracious during this period. There's a voluptuousness about you. If you're a woman, there's a sense of strength and character about you if you're a man. You may find that you are quite sweet and gentle and very romantic. There's a lot of emotional freedom for you here now, and well, this is saying that jealousy is going to be conquered. Right, well, I'll just leave it at that. But more particularly, you're going to have a trust in yourself. I'm just looking at this character who appears to be very vulnerable in the way that she's standing there. You can be the most beautiful person in the world, and everybody sees light and rainbows when they look at you. But if you yourself don't know it, and this is saying now that you're going to have a trust in yourself, if you don't know it, then all of what the other people think doesn't matter. Now, every second that you spend on doubting your worth, every moment that you use to criticize yourself, words that are important, or the words that you tell yourself. Well, every second that you do that, well, it's a second of your life that is wasted. It's a moment that you have thrown away. And look, let's face it, none of us are getting out of this alive. We don't have forever. So don't waste any of your seconds. Don't throw even one of your moments away. Now, I suspect with you that you actually can be your own biggest critic. Before anyone else has criticized you, you have already criticized yourself. Well, you should say this: for the rest of my life, I'm going to be with me, and I don't want to spend my life with someone who is always critical. So I'm going to stop being my own critic. And it's the right time now that I accept all the great things about me. You see, as I say that, the person in life that you will always be with the most is yourself. Because even when you are with others, you are still with yourself too. When you wake up in the morning, you're with yourself. Lying in bed at night, you are with yourself. Walking down the street in the sunlight, you are with yourself. Now, what kind of person do you want to walk down the street with? What kind of person do you want to wake up in the morning with? What kind of person do you want to see at the end of the day before you fall asleep? Because that person is you. And this is the theme coming through. It's your responsibility to be that person that you want to be with. And say to yourself, I know I want to spend my life with a person who knows how to let things go, who's not full of resentment, and who's able to smile and be carefree. So that's who I have to be, whatever else I might be. And then the most powerful card to do with love is here, and the Ace of Cups. I'm getting Scorpio, Sagittarius and Libra around here again, of course. There's an emotional clarity here with you, a deep love of the self at last, giving and receiving. Look, the Ace of Cups, I suppose, is the feminine counterpart to the Ace of Wands, which is open, like this, receptive, surrendering, and bearing the transformatory power of giving love. Now, the upper and lower portions of this painting, they embody, I think, the same quality, because below the emotional realm of water and above is the ethereal realm of spirit. And emotional clarity results. The giving of love will happen effortlessly for you. And in fact, this is a love that's in its purest sense. There's abundance here. There may well be a new relationship. I see births and pregnancy around here and a lot of sensual passion. And I think what you'll do is, I think you'll begin to understand the value of love. Really, I think you'll come to the conclusion that it should be a privilege to be able to say, I love you to someone. It shouldn't be something that people just say because they feel like it, or because they want to get you into bed. It's a privilege that is earned. They say you have to earn the right to be loved. No, you don't. Love can be unconditional. If you love someone, they don't have to earn it. But the right to tell someone that you love them, that has to be earned. You have to earn the right to be believed. Now, there's also a message here for fathers who are separated from their children as a result of divorce or other separations that are coming about. Look, the greatest thing a father can do for his children is to respect the woman that gave birth to his children. It's because of her that you have the greatest treasures in your life. Now, you may well have moved on, but your children haven't. And if you can't be her soulmate, then at least be thoughtful. You see, whom your children love should always be someone that you acknowledge with kindness. Your children notice everything, They're like the CIA, and they will follow your example. And if you talk their mother down to them, they will hold that against you forever. And I think finally, there's a message here about, I mentioned unconditional love. Unconditional love. Well, unconditional love, I suppose, is like a country of two, with no laws and no government, which is fine if everybody is peaceful and law-abiding. But in the wrong hands, though, you can get looting and pillaging and crime sprees. And let me tell you, the people who demand unconditional love, who say, you must love me unconditionally, they are usually the ones who will rob and pillage, and then they'll blame you because you left your back door unlocked. Well, what a fabulous set of cards for you. Made so much better for you being here. I told you those cards were good, did I not? Aren't they fascinating, the imagery that's on them? I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you, because I was delighted by it, I've got to say. Now, unless I see you privately, either for a clairvoyance reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. Until then, though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. And until then, it's bye for now.